Hello students, I am Dr. Pooja Pandey, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Financial Studies, Atal Bihari Vajpayee Vishwavidyalaya, Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh. In the last lecture, I have discussed the different methods and types of marketing research, and in this lecture, I will discuss marketing research process. As we know, nowadays marketing research has gained significance due to increasing competition, changing consumer preferences and tastes, changes in technology leading to product innovations, and emerging markets in which youth are prime drivers of consumption. As companies have started utilizing the services of research firm, there is a growth in the number of agencies offering a range of solutions from research to strategy formulation. As we saw earlier, marketing research is very much essential to make strategic decisions which are important for the growth of the organization, and it helps in making the right decisions systematically using statistical methods. Further, marketing research reduces the uncertainty in the decision making process and increases the probability and magnitude of success if conducted in a systematic, analytical, and objective manner. Marketing research by itself does not arrive at marketing decision, nor does it guarantee that the organization will be successful in marketing its products, but it is only a tool which helps in the decision making process. In the given slide, you will see the different steps of marketing research process. It involves a number of interrelated activities which have bearing on each other, and the marketing research process is a series of different activities performed with a predetermined objectives, and the different steps of marketing process research process are problem definition, objective and hypothesis formulation, research design formulation, data collection, data analysis and interpretation, and the last one, report preparation and presentation. Let's discuss each step separately. The first step in marketing research process is to define the research problem. As we know, a problem well defined is half solved. If a problem is poorly defined, a good research design cannot be developed. The decision regarding problem faced by the organization must be translated into a market research problem in the form of question, and these formulated question must define those type of information which is required to make the decision and how this information can be obtained, and in this way the decision problem gets translated into a research problem. You can understand with an example. A decision problem may be whether to launch a new product, or in this context the corresponding research problem might be to assess whether the market would accept this new product or not. And in order to define the problem more precisely, various research has been done, like an exploratory research can be carried out through survey of secondary data, pilot studies, or experiences survey are some of the popular method. And to define the research problem, the researcher may choose one or more of the following ways, such as discussion with the decision makers, interviews with industry experts, analysis of secondary data, and some qualitative research. So let's discuss what is the problem or what the problem can be. What kind of information is missing for the problem solver to make a decision? For example, salespeople are not performing well. This is a problem to the organization because it requires good performance. Every organization's performance is based on number of sales people, their activities, and what an organization can do to solve the problem. The organization needs information about the causes. What are the reason or what are the causes due to which the salespeople are not performing or performing in a poor way, and these type of factors need investigation. And the question the researcher can frame is, what factors are responsible for the poor performance of salespeople? Exploratory research like secondary data, pilot studies, case studies, and literature review can be used to define the research problem. And next or second step of marketing research process is objective and hypothesis formulation. Development of a broad specification of how the problem will be addressed allows the researcher to break the problem into salient issues and manageable pieces, and this involves the following. Firstly, developing a theoretical framework. Like, research problem requires a context to define, and it can be defined in the knowledge context as a gap to the bridged or something unknown to be known, and the theoretical model can be taken and all the variables can be identified and presented for examination in the present context. Secondly, framing research questions. So, firstly, what is research question? We can say it indicates what the inquiry is about. The researcher will identify the most relevant variables that have impact on performance and questions their relationship to the phenomena investigated. Thirdly, stating objectives. It means breaking the research questions into suitable objectives, and that will help researcher in designing the study better. And the objectives will help in defining the scope of the study and state hypothesis to be tested. In the case of performance improvement study, we can say the objective can be like to study the motivation level of the salespeople and their determinants. And the next is designing an analytical model. For research in performance management, the integrated model of performance management may be used to identify the relevant variables in the study, and by establishing interrelationship among the variables, a model can be developed for investigation purpose. And finally, formulation of hypothesis. Hypothesis is basically are statements of expected outcome which a researcher seeks to verify by his or her research. And the next step of marketing research process is research design formulation. The research design specifies the methods and procedure for conducting a particular study. Research design can be classified into different categories, and these classification is based on objectives of the research, and these classifications are exploratory research, descriptive research and experimental research, which I have already discussed in my last lecture. So, when problems are formulated clearly in exploratory research, it aims at clarifying concept, gathering explanation, gaining insight, eliminating impractical ideas and forming hypotheses. We can say exploratory research can be performed using a literature search, surveying certain people about their experiences, focus group and case studies. Exploratory research may develop hypotheses, but it does not seek to test them. Exploratory research is characterized by its flexibility. On the other hand, a descriptive study is undertaken when the researcher wants to know the characteristics of certain group such as age, sex, educational level, income, occupation, etc. Descriptive research is more rigid than exploratory research, and it seeks to describe users of a product, determine the proportion of the population that uses a product, or predict future demand for a product. And experimental research seeks to find cause and effect relationship between different variables, and it accomplishes this goal through laboratory and field experiments. And the next step of marketing research process is data collection. It refers to the process how to determine the sources of data to be used. As we know, there are two types of data: primary data, which is collected through original or first-hand research, and the second is secondary data, which is gathered from studies, surveys or experiments that have been done by other people or for other research. And the researcher, very important part is the researcher has to decide whether to go for primary data or secondary data. Sometimes a combination of both is used. And before going through the time and expenses of collecting primary data, one should check for secondary data that previously may have been collected for other purposes, but that can be used in the immediate study. As we know, secondary data may be internal to the firm, such as sales invoices, warranty cards, or may be external, such as published data or commercially available data. Very important source of secondary data is government census. That is also very valuable source of secondary data. Secondary data has the advantage of saving time and reducing data gathering cost. And the important disadvantage is that the data may not fit the problem perfectly, and the accuracy may be more difficult to verify for secondary data than for primary data. Further, when you are going to collect primary data, a sampling plan is very much important. The marketing researcher has to decide whether it will be a sample survey or a census. The population from which the sample has to be drawn has to be well defined, and a broad choice is to be made between probability sampling and non-probability sampling. The sample design is then chosen depending on the suitability and the availability of the sample frame. The size of the sample chosen is based on statistical method. There are various tools which can be used for the selection of sample size. This is well defined and also reproduces the characteristics of the population. Generally, in practice, this objective is never completely attained on account of the occurrence of two types of error, that is error due to bias in the selection and sampling error. So data collection involves lots of points to be analyzed, and we have to take care before collection of different data. And the next step is to analyze the data that has been collected from the different sources. The raw data is transformed into the right format. First, it is edited so that error can be collected or omitted. The data is then coded. This procedure converts the edited raw data into numbers or symbols. A code book is created to document how the data is coded. And finally, the data is tabulated to count the number of samples falling into various categories. We can see data analysis and interpretation involves the following important point. That is, the data collected as per this step will be checked and missing data will be excluded, and then the data will be rearranged in the required format so that the further processing could be done smoothly. And it is important to find out the method of data analysis, that is whether the data analysis can be qualitative data analysis or quantitative data analysis. And then data will be analyzed with the help of various important statistical tools by using MS Excel, SPSS, MOS, Stata, eView software, etc. And then get the results and look for the major trends in your data. Now you have to make explanation of the result, that is how the calculated results are supporting your research work or not supporting your research hypothesis. While making interpretation or while interpretation the result, a researcher has also to correlate the result with the previous work done in the same areas. And there are two most commonly used criteria which can be used to test the soundness of a study, that is validity and reliability. And we can say a study is valid only if it actually tested when it was designed to test. And for reliability checking, if you repeat the study and get the same results or nearly the same results, the research is said to be reliable. Now coming to the last step of marketing research process, that is report preparation and presentation. In the last stage of marketing research, the information contained in the data will be presented in the form of report so that a manager can take important decision. And a report is a high form of structured documentation that encompasses an oral or written presentation to management describing a research project's purpose, procedure, conclusion and recommendations. Let's discuss what are the points should be considered to write a report. Firstly, prepare an introduction that provides a brief overview of your business and the reason you conducted the marketing research. Then list your research method in the next section of your report, and then table, graph, matrices should be shown separately in next section of your report, accompanied by a narrative explanation of the tabulated data, charts or graphs. And lastly, report should be ended with a section of recommendation based on the research results. These are the references which I have used, and In the next lecture, I will discuss marketing information system. Thank you.